So people, this video clip is from a podcast, from a conversation that I had with Kirat Alreja. He's currently a third year computer science student. He spent the first 2 years at Manipal University and the next 2 years, which he was supposed to go to a foreign university, but because of COVID and all, international borders were closed, so he couldn't go there. But anyway, this clip talks about, the difference in education in India and in Australia. So there's this program called the ICAS program in Manipal University, which allows the student to spend the first 2 years at Manipal and the rest 2 years at foreign university, because of which Kirat has quite a bit of experience, and we'll just be unleashing that and bringing out to you guys. So make sure you watch this clip till the very end. And he's also a YouTuber, having over 9,000 plus subscribers. I've also had a previous conversation with him, and I'll just link that down in the description. And just enjoy yourselves. Because you'll be spending the next 2 years in Australia, so I just want to ask you, you'll be going to your further studies in Australia, so I just want to ask you the difference between studying in Manipal versus studying in Australia. Like, what is the kind of, first of all, difference in culture and teaching? I guess I've spoken a lot, but I'll just I'll give you the opportunity to speak now.
So that's a two-part question. Let me first tell you about the ICAS program and why I found it interesting and why I joined it. So when I started with my 12th grade, by the middle of it, I was like, I want to go for a broad education. So I was going through all the processes and the visa process, admission process. But there was this certain fear in my mind that I won't be able to manage everything by myself, because unlike India, you don't have fancy hostels and mess and cleaners who come to your room and clean everything, laundries. You have to do everything by yourself. So that's why I was very curious when I got to know about this Manipal program, because I was like, first of all, I get to spend 2 years in Manipal, which is a highly praised university. All the beautiful locations, beaches. I get to do that. I get to experience Indian education as well, because we have all heard that how fun is Indian hostel life, college life. So it just seemed like a win-win situation for me. I get to do both the things. So that's why I just went for the ICAS program, and that's how I joined Manipal.
Beautiful. That's great, man. So now, here, one more thing that I want to ask you, that for someone who's joining Manipal, the main campus, do you recommend him taking an ICAS program or just doing with the normal degree, or is it subjective and limited, sort of just depends on the person who's joining?
It's actually a highly subjective program, and I have been making constant efforts to put out as much information as I can, because a lot of people just end up joining this course and later realize that it was not the right option. So I've actually made like 2 videos. They are like 30 minutes long. When I was making those videos, I was like, if this goes on for 2 hours, I'll do it, because I just want to, warn everyone. It is a highly subjective course. And I would just say that if anyone's looking to join this, they should just go through my videos, because a short answer over here would
not help,
not be appropriate. Yeah.
Right. It's great, man. Great to see your efforts. So now let's just come back to like studying in Australia, like studying in a foreign university. What is the experience like? What is the culture like? The difference in education, and just if you could just give a brief about what it is like studying over there.
So due to the pandemic, as we all know, international borders are closed and everything. So I was supposed to join my university, which is Australian National University, in July 2020, offline in campus. But due to the pandemic and everything, it just kept on getting delayed. And I just decided that I'll go with the online semester for now, since I can't afford to have such a huge gap in my formal education. So when I started my online education, I thought that I wouldn't actually notice much of a difference, or it would be like the Indian education where you just sit in front of the class. I wouldn't actually notice anything. But after going through an entire semester, like my final exam just ended like a couple of days ago, I'm just mind blown by the cultural differences and the
Mm.
difference in how teaching works, how the students think. I think the main cultural difference I noticed is that all the teachers are very serious towards teaching, and all the students are very serious towards studying. Usually
Mm.
in Indian colleges and even in Manipal, I've noticed that
Mm.
there would be like three, four students in class who are kind of interested in the subject computer science. As we know in India, most students tend to go for it because of the employment and the
Sure,
placement
sure.
perspective. They don't actually have like a lot of interest for it. That's not
Mm.
wrong. That's how Indian culture is these days, but that's a fact. But here I've noticed that the amount of hard work you need in assignments, in exams, sitting in class, you just need to be very passionate about the subject. And without that, it
Mm.
is actually impossible to survive. And the exams are so hard. In Manipal or in ICAS, what used to happen is whatever the professors used to teach, I used to make beautiful notes, I used to revise, and that's how I got good marks. But
Mm.
here, they they put the questions which are not taught in class. They'll put everything that has not been taught in the class. They put some questions intentionally, and they told us this that these questions are only for students who go the extra mile and study
Mm.
research online apart from the course material. So the entire experience is designed in a way to get you interested into computer science, and if you are
Mm.
passionate, if you work harder than other students, you get rewarded. So that's kind of a major difference I noticed. And I have actually never pulled an all-nighter, like no matter what exam it is or assignment in Manipal. I used to just get
Right.
my 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep. I've
Mm.
never compromised on that. But
Mm.
here I've noticed the kind of assignments they give, they are so interesting, and they have a huge problem solving aspect to them. So I remember
Mm.
once in March, I ended up working for 14 hours straight on an assignment. I sat at 10 p.m. in the night and I ended it around like 10 a.m. in the day, 10 or 11. So, and I
Okay.
didn't even feel tired. This was my
Mm.
first time pulling an all-nighter. So, I think that's the main difference. They try to make the education
Mm.
more interesting and
More
intriguing. And
innovative
yeah,
for the
yeah,
students also. Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's important because like here what a lot of people know, and I'm telling you this from my experience, my students, my fellow mates, and not very wrong to say myself
yeah,
also, that
mhm,
there's a lot of rote learning involved over here.
yeah,
Like whatever is taught, you just memorize that, just ratify that, and then just
yeah, yeah.
place it in your exams. So yes, I think having an innovative mindset really helps in that way. Great.